science program, and all of the other programs really are great, but it has a great science program, so.
Pre-med and vocal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always had that strange feeling that she's much brighter than I am. Always pre-med. Oh my God. And did you apply to med school? Was that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I studied abroad when I was at Lawrence, and I went to Vienna for the music part of it. And that was when I came back. I was like, I want to do opera, because I went to the opera pretty much every day that I was there for like 3 months.
You just fell in love with it
Yeah.
and knew that that's what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Caitlin and Jesse, this Missoula's cutest couple, so if you haven't seen yet, I'll be bringing them out at the end of the show so you can see it for your own eyes. And we're starting off after the Star Spangled Banner, which she promised, she threatened to sing that in B while we played it in B flat. I think she came with us. This wonderful favorite singer of ours that I conjured her coming back. So on her second rise to our stage this summer, you're lucky enough to finish out our concert tonight. Please welcome back up to the bandstand. Hey, now don't get spoiled. They won't be here next week, okay? Caitlin Cisler is a regional, if not national singer. We might get lucky enough to see her work at the deli counter at the Whole Foods store. It's time to bring it back with a new voice, and you are just gonna melt. Hold on, kids. The real name is Beneath Thy Window. You know it as O Sole Mio. Welcome. It's been a while. I'm Gary Gillett, and this is Music in Missoula, or Musicians in Missoula, whatever it happens to be, the real title. You'll see. Scott will put it on the screen for you. We have a chance to meet and chat with musicians here in Missoula. And look who's here. She said yes, she'd come and talk with me if I promised to be good. This is Caitlin Cisler. Say hi to Caitlin.
Hello.
Oh, she's a marvelous singer. And we've done a number of projects together, but I recently, reading through the paper, and saw that the Magic Flute was being done. Now, I'm not much of an opera guy, I'm a band geek, that's where I come out of. But I went, oh, that's nice. Look at the kids at the university are going to do opera, and they're going to have a chamber orchestra, so real musicians doing real music. Hot dang. And then I saw, with special guest appearance by Caitlin Cisler, the Queen. The Queen was the part she was playing in the Magic Flute. Oh, and that was enough to stir me off my couch on a cold winter Friday and get me out to the opera. And it was wonderful. Of course, Caitlin stole the show. She won't admit that. The leads and the orchestra were wonderful. Luis Mion did the orchestra, and what he can do without a stick is amazing. Boy, and I always have to get ready to meet up with Luis because he's so sharp and so quick that I have to have a line to catch him flat-foot. And it's only happened like twice in my life, because if I just go up to him, he'll get me with something, and then I'm flat-foot going, you win again. Caitlin Cisler, hey.
Hi.
Hi.
How are you, Gary?
I'm retired.
That's wonderful.
You just came from a rehearsal. What rehearsal was it?
I am rehearsing for the Bachianas Brasileiras, which is by Heitor Villalobos, which the...
Tango fella.
Well, yeah, Brazilian,
yes.
yes.
Okay.
Brazilian composer, wrote lots of things, but the Bachianas is actually his most famous work, and it is for a cello ensemble and soprano. And we are performing it on March 10th at the West Side Theater, and this is with the Missoula Chamber Music Collective.
And how many cellists?
Eight cellists.
And are they primarily drawn from the symphony? Who's Who's doing the project?
The project is they're all cellists who live in Missoula. We've got Dr. Adam Collins, Jessica Catrone, Christine Rumpf-Sopko,
Yeah.
and Fern Glass-Boyd, and Bethany Joyce. And then we have 3 student cellists. We have Dayla Mitchell and David Harmsworth and Josiah Anderson. So I think David just graduated, but the other 2 are university students, so they'll form our cello octet. So we're doing that piece, and we're doing a few other pieces for cello octet. Since we have all 8 of them together, I thought it would be fun to hear them play more.
Yes.
Yeah.
And who headed it up? Who spearheaded this?
I did.
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you done the work before?
No. It's the first for me,
But you know it,
but I knew it.
and you want to do
and
it.
I wanted to do it. Yeah.
And this group, the chamber thing. This is your thing, is it?
This is my thing, yes.
What is it?
Well, I just decided I wanted to perform more locally because I get asked a lot when people do hear me sing somewhere in town. I get asked a lot. Well, so a lot of people ask where they can hear me in town, and there hasn't been too many opportunities in town, apart from, of course,
Besides the Missoula City Band.
the City Band. I do sing with them every summer. But so I decided it would be fun to do this project, and I really like chamber music. I primarily do opera as my regular performance work, but I really enjoy chamber music. So just give me a chance to try some new music that I don't get asked to do very often.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because we're doing, our arranger is doing some Latino music for us this summer together.
nice.
A tango of some kind,
Great.
I think it is. And cello, so my younger son, you probably don't know him. A cellist, and he's just a monster at it, and started way too early, only because he demanded it. Like maybe he was 4 or 5,
Wow.
and through all the sizes of instruments and all the Suzuki stuff, and he must have been about. We're playing Bach cello suites with him, and I'm still trying to play with him. And I didn't study cello. I studied bass a couple semesters in college, but I was trying really hard. I'm trying to lead him with good posture and all those things, but I didn't have near the chops that my developing little cellist had. And at one point, he looked up during the Bach cello suites, and I knew the suites because I played them on trombone. We stole them, and he looked up and stopped and went, "Dad, you suck." And for a moment, it was like I was hurt. Then I looked at his little face, like he didn't mean to hurt me. He was just calling me out.
That's right.
And that's about the time I stopped trying to be his interim teacher.
because you found someone better.
Yes. And he studied more fluently with a real cellist. But I just love the sound of cello. And 8 of them. The only time we hear that stuff is when is it the Portland group that comes over? There's a Portland cello ensemble. I've heard them once or twice, and they show up here every other year or something like that. The instrument closest to the human voice has often been touted.
That's true, yes.
It's just so beautiful. And all acoustic.
Yes.
So there's going to be no mics. And the West Side Theater, it's over by Draftworks somewhere, right?
Yeah, it's close to, I think it's at Shakespeare Street, I think is what it's called, which is a good street for a theater.
Yeah.
But it's, the Burn Street Bistro, formerly Burn Street Bistro neighborhood.
Okay, in that neighborhood.
Yeah, in that neighborhood.
It used to be a climbing gym.
It's right next to the climbing gym.
Okay.
Yes,
That's
there you go.
Because my kids did that climbing gym back then.
Yeah, it's in the same complex.
And is it acoustically sufficient?
I believe so, yeah. I've only been there once so far. We haven't rehearsed in the space yet, but when I went to check it out, it seems wonderful. Nice high ceilings, big space, because they do lots of aerial work at that theater. Yeah.
Oh.
So.
And when is the project performing?
We're performing on March 10th, which is a Sunday at 7 p.m.
You want to catch this, kids.
Yeah.
I think you're from the Midwest.
I am. I'm from Wisconsin.
You are. So, and you went to a small town or big town girl?
Smallish town, yeah. A little bit bigger than Missoula, but not much.
Okay. And then right to Lawrence? So, if you don't know about Lawrence, it's a conservatory. Yeah?
Yes.
And so, not a place for your B-flat band guy to go to, but people that are highly talented and looking for a career in performance.
Right.
Yeah? And you must have had a good experience there, huh?
It was great, yeah. I grew up in the town that Lawrence University is in. So I started studying at Lawrence from a pretty young age, actually. Like all my initial instruction was from people who either like teachers there or students there, and I had to go to summer theory camp. So that's like real nerdy, but I did go to summer theory camp at Lawrence.
All right, but studying with top-notch people from a young age.
Yeah.
All right, and you found that it fit. Did you go to public high school?
I did, yes.
All right.
I went to public high school, but I liked Lawrence. I went to Ithaca College in New York, for 1 year, because I didn't want to stay home. Yeah.
I bet, yeah.
But then I just decided Lawrence was really the better fit, and I went back. It was.
And was it the voice teacher herself, or combinations, no?
No, it was, I actually wanted to get a dual degree. So I have a pre-med degree in addition to a vocal performance degree. And that was the real reason that I moved back, because Lawrence also, in addition to being a really good conservatory, has a great science program. And all of the other programs really are great, but it has a great science program. So
Pre-med and vocal?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I always had that strange feeling that she's much brighter than I am. Always pre-med. Oh my God. And did you apply to med school? Was that?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I studied abroad when I was at Lawrence, and I went to Vienna for the music part of it. And that was when I came back. I was like, I want to do opera, because I went to the opera pretty much every day that I was there for like 3 months.
You just fell in love with it and,
Yeah.
and knew that that's what you wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yeah.
geez. Pre-med. I should have known.
And I really still like that, but I haven't done anything with it in a long time. So, but I found it interesting. Yeah.
Oh, to get through a pre-med. Oofa. So, what did you do something else between graduating from Lawrence before you showed up here?
I did. I got a master's degree in opera performance from University of Wisconsin-Madison.
Okay.
And then when I was done with that, I just hung out around in Madison for a few years.
I understand that's a really nice place to hang out.
Yeah, it's pretty great.
It's a hard place to leave,
It's
people
very
tell
hard.
me.
Yeah. The only reason I really left was, my husband. He got me to come out here.
Okay. And you followed him.
I did, yeah.
Were you biting and scratching not to leave, or?
No, I was ready to leave. So my teacher in Madison was Julia Faulkner, who is one of the best vocal instructors that's living right now. And people flock. If you've seen I think it's called The Audition, which is the Metropolitan Opera's big competition. They call it the Met Auditions.
Okay.
The competition that they hold that college kids will do. She was featured on the audition because one of her students won the year that they were doing this documentary about what it's like to go through the Met audition process. And so she was featured in that, and then has kind of since, so a lot of people know her name because of that particular film. And anyway, she was leaving Madison at the same time that this came up to move here. So I was like, yeah, I don't really need to stay here anymore because she's not going to be here. And
Sure.
so I traveled to visit with her on occasion now. And she's at Chicago, Lyric, and Curtis are the places that she works now. Yeah.
So I first heard Kristen, I discovered her here in town. That's right.
Sure.
Thank you. I get credit for this in my own mind. I was upstairs rooting around at the old Sentinel music building, and I heard something angelic, and I recognized the piece, and then was wondering, oh my God, who is that? So I started routing through the practice rooms upstairs, and the place was empty except for me, so I just followed my ears back downstairs to the choir room door. And as she was singing, figured out that it was a real singer in there doing a demonstration, trying to hawk for lessons. So she just moved it down, and as performers are apt to do, they teach privately on the side at least. And she was doing a demo with my former colleague there, Jessica Franks. And I waited. I was wise enough because I wanted to be inside because I'm listening through the door. And I was nice enough. And when that song stopped, and it was,
Oh mio babino.
oh, yeah, oh mio babino caro. I snuck in, and of course, the big fat band director didn't sneak in, but I didn't interrupt her too much, and I came around the side, and she sang another tune or two, and you did your little song and dance, and then I followed her. Then she was done with the choir, and she was trying to leave, and I stalked her, and we chatted, and I asked about the possibility of you singing with the city band.
Yes.
And that's how I discovered her.
I moved like in July, and then that was probably that fall.
Yes, okay. So in my own mind, that's still. And so many of us are, we're just so lucky to have her here because being a wonderful singer with this angelic voice, that she's so easy to make music with. It's not always the case with wonderful performers. They can be difficult people, all right? That they're so taken with their art that dealing with others is not necessarily a strength. That doesn't afflict Caitlin, thank God. So she's so easy to work with, and she's gracious. That when things don't quite go her way, that she doesn't turn around and blame us for sucking. That we do the best we can, and to try to keep up and try not to detract from what she's able to offer. And you want to stay more. So if you started this chamber music here in town, that means you would rather not travel as much.
Well, no, I love traveling.
And how much do you travel?
It sort of depends year to year. So as an opera singer, we work kind of on a contract basis. So there is not like one particular opera house that would hire us and we'd work there all year. We have to pick and get our different roles all over the place. So it can sort of depend on who's performing what. If it has something that they wanted me to sing, how much I travel. So it could be anywhere from doing like 5 shows a year or just like 1 show a year and being gone. So it really varies.
That her upcoming things besides the City Band this summer is this chamber music series. Have you got things further lined out for your year?
Not yet. No. So next season is coming up, but we're still in the process of figuring all that out. So right now it's an open book, and I can do anything I want.
Hot day!
Yeah.
And you teach privately as well.
I do, yeah.
All right. How many students do you have?
I have about 25 students.
Yow!
Yeah.
That's a big studio.
It is big, and they're all wonderful. It's really fun.
Oh, that's right. The gal that you've recommended to us that
Natalie, yeah.
Natalie, who's married, or is she married to that drummer boy of mine?
This summer, I think.
Oh, okay. That we share interest in this gal and her voices as well. I had something intelligent to ask, but it just floated away. That's okay. It's fun to be old. Anything that we haven't covered?
I'm not sure. You asked me about went to school, who I studied with.
Yeah.
When did the music bug bite you?
When did the music bug bite me? Thanks, Scott.
Oh.
I have always...
He's still waiting for a bite over there.
Yeah, right. I started taking piano lessons when I was 7, and I maybe didn't totally love it, but boy, am I glad I ever did it. Yeah, and I do really enjoy playing piano. I think, especially as a singer, piano skills are something that you really need to have. And many of my students do study piano, and some don't, but I always try to push them to go study piano because it's really nice to be able to semi-accompany yourself as you're learning some music. One of the weird things about being a singer, is that you don't have any buttons to push to make sure you're actually singing an A. You gotta find ways to help yourself with that, and piano is a really good way to make sure that you're doing the right pitches and rhythms and things like that. Yeah.
Are you still working a part-time gig?
Yes. At the good food store.
Okay, again.
Yeah.
And are you at the? Someone said something at the deli. I says you can always catch her at the deli at the good food.
No, I work as a cashier when I'm there, or I also do personal shopping for the curbside department. That's mostly what I do, honestly. So many people don't see me there because it's all behind the scenes now.
Oh, okay.
But I am there out front on occasion, and it's been really great. You mentioned that as a musician, we have to do lessons to fill out our paychecks, but it's also good to have these part-time jobs that can kind of work around our schedules. So I'm really grateful to the Good Food Store for being here to provide that, because this town doesn't have very many jobs like that as compared to Madison, where I worked as a temp and it was great. That's a really good way to fill out when you're not traveling.
Yeah.
But otherwise, you need flexible employers. So.
And people that will allow your schedule to
Right.
alter when things come up.
Precisely, yeah. So. But yes, I love working there. It's a great place.
Dang. If you haven't yet heard, or you've heard about the upcoming gigs, you need to stop what you're doing and get off the couch and hear the lady sing. And it's angelic. It's just wonderful. We're so lucky to have her here, and hoping that we can do everything possible to keep her here, because we all benefit from it. Bless you.
Oh, thanks, Gary.
Oh, thank you.
It's fun to play with you.
I guess she's just so gracious. Oh, God. We do what we can. Hey, this is our little chat with Caitlin Cisler. So glad that you would take time out of your schedule and come in from the sun. It's sunny out. And go back out and take a look at some blue sky. Hey, we'll see you some other time soon. Stop me on the street and suggest that I interview somebody who's not old. Kyle, this is Gary Gillett with Scott Ramph off there shaking his head in the corner doing all the work. And this has been Musicians in Missoula. Thanks a lot, man. Catch you next time.
chanter